Today we're going to see this example, which I think it's very good to begin with, which uses the reference. Well, all this is basics we already seen in past videos. We know that this UI document variable gets all the UI document information and put it in this UI document variable object, same with the document. So any user action, it's going to be in the UI document, and any document action like reading information from the document will be from the document variable. Then we have this selection, but what is this? So let's go and use first or default, and let's do something. Task and dialog, show selection, okay, this is a title. Here let's do selection. Let's see its properties. Let's do a element ID. Okay, selected ID is, and it's going to show. Okay, let's try. Let's open Revit, and meanwhile I'm going to explain how does this works. First of all, what is reference and what is pick object and why it's this whole thing built like this. Okay, so first thing to know is first or default. First or default, it's a C# method, it's default method, which returns the first list element of a sequence. So if we have a list of objects, we're going to return the first element within this list. So up to here we have one selection, but if I raise this, we will have list. Well, we have in the past we have one reference, but now we will have one iList reference. But why? Why did I have one reference, and why do I have one iList reference for now? This is all because of the pick object. Pick object. Let's go. Let's search what a pick object method is. If we go here and we put pick object method, well, pick object with an S, we can find that this is a method. We already know how methods are built. If we can here one method, for example, this one, this is the constructor, and let's remember that this is what's the method is going to return. Just like a sum method, which has a int a and int b, and here we do something like return a plus b. Then we can use something like this: int answer equals sum AB, like 1 and 2. We're going to have 3 here. So what my point is that we already know that if we use this method, this sum method, we're going to have an int. So whatever we use with that method in, we have to save that variable with the return. So here it's same thing. We have pick objects method, and it's returning an list of reference. That's why here our last thing is the pick object, so we're going to save it as a list of reference. Let's try another thing. For example, the pick object method. Pick object method, let's try this. Let's try pick object only. So this is going to be saved as a reference. So pick objects, and we can use object type constructor element. So this will be saved only as reference. That's it. We can still do like this other methods. For example, set element ID. This is not something that we can save with a variable. This will do something directly, will not return nothing. That's why it's void. So let's try another one. Get reference. Get element ID has iCollection element. Pixbox method, same. So here, if we do selection, pick box, we have to say as pick box. Never tried this before, but this works like this. Pixbox, and we have to give a Pixbox style, which is a enum. Let's try Pixbox style dot, and we can choose any style. So draw the box with the style that is used when selecting object. Okay, crossing. So this whole thing that I'm doing right now, it's just to show how we can know what are we going to get, whether what method we use. This is very important, how to use the documentation wisely. So let's go back to the iList reference. Here it's everything same. We have let's go with a pick objects method. Let's go with the iList reference. iList reference. But I forgot what was it. iList, yes, correctly. Oh, capital L because it's iList. Okay. Now, list of reference, and we can show another thing. For example, selection dot count. If we come here, we open a Revit project, and we run the add-in. We're going to select, and it's going to work. This is the title of the task dialog, and this is the main instruction. Okay, and now we can try with a single selection. So let's change this to one single element of the list. Let's erase the iList, and let's check for a property under the reference object. We can see we have many properties. let's go for the element ID. If I go for the element ID, I have to put element ID. So let's try. Okay, let's try again. I select this and I will have the ID. But this is a little bit wrong because if I select a lot of elements, I will only have one. But I won't have a list of IDs. We're going to build this in the next video because what I want to show right now is how to debug. First thing to debug is to select on the line of code we want to divide. For example, the second one, the debug, sorry, and attach process. Once we attach the process, we have to press Revit API, this one, and just check that this is the project we are working on. Attach, and we're going to get here. We have to run the add-in, and we're going to get redirected to this line, the red line we selected. Then we have to step over. Each step over, the add-in will going to run and actions are going to happen. So right now we have the document. We can check we have this document object. So we have document object. If we go ahead, this line of code, it's going to hit and we're going to make a selection. So let's make a very big selection. Now we can see that we have the selection, which has only one object. This is element ID 355. So this is going to come here and this ID is going to show. Let's see. And we can see here the result. Another way of doing this, is instead of making a first or default method, we can use the var. This is going to detect already the object. This is like using Python, for example, not really, but similar. Like you don't have to put the variable that you're using, but I prefer to type the variable list of reference, and we can come here and we can use the first or default method here, and we can show the element ID property here. Now when we're going to debug, we're going to see something's different. So let's attach to process one more time. We come to Revit access. Okay, something's wrong here. Let's go reattach to process. Let's go to Revit. Let's run the add-in. Okay, it's not working. Sometimes this happens. Let's reattach again. Rebuild, debug, attach to process, Revit exe. Okay, let's run the add-in. Now let's go to the selection command. Here we have the document object. Let's go and make the selection, finalize, and now we're going to see a very big selection. So here we have many reference. So the first one, it's still 355. If we go to the second one, it's 2607. So we're going to show 355 again. So next thing I'm going to explain in the next video, because I don't want to make this large, it's going to be the hierarchy, which is also a very important thing to understand the Revit API. See you next time.